and still managed to get the win out, but for a long time I was quite convinced it was going to be a night to take away the win. So they definitely learned a lot from these two matches that G2 played against them on Clubhouse. Let's see if BDS and Secret learned from their own mistakes and losses on Clubhouse. First up, of course, will be the bans. They do often dictate the pace on this map. You heard it earlier in the interview. If Thatcher and Maverick will be banned, the attacks are incredibly hard. And we're 50% there.
50% of the way to a very tricky attack here. BDS, they're taking their time with it. They're putting some thought into it, and it is...
Ooh, okay. Monty often considered a bit of a crutch operator, you can almost say. Especially powerful if you want to push up the garage, take the rafters in control, because there's literally nothing you could do except for keep on falling back. Potentially try and bait him out with a C4 or a smoke, and well, mine will be banned as well. I don't think that's something too uncommon from the likes of BDS. We very often saw them ban Ramai in the past, not so much lately. See one against Trainhard, and maybe against Empire. No, just against Trainhard they banned at this stage, but beforehand it almost always was a permaban for them.
The mute gone as well. I mean, it's always a little bit dangerous because obviously you're looking at how he sort of had a big return to form, and he has been more of a ban as well recently. But if there's a team that instantly sort of fell in love with Flores and what he can offer, it was BDS. They were instantly sort of hitting the ground. Alems in that first interview said he's one of the strongest operators, he thinks, at the moment in the game. He can really sort of bring some things. So you've got to have a lot of confidence in what you expect BDS to be bringing to sort of be able to, I think, remove that mute and go in confidently. The swap there, the Valk to the Rook. There was a bit of a discussion recently, I think it was Reaper that started it, as he often does, about how good Rook can be, and is he being slept on based on what is a very good win delta?
Yeah, definitely so. He does have a good win delta in, of course, the ranked games. Doesn't necessarily get played much inside of the professional circuit. The most important thing is, like, let's just talk about the vests, right? You get 5 vests, you drop them down, everybody picks one up, or you leave one, because then it's a bit of an information tool, someone can pick that up on the attack, you know where he is. Doesn't very often happen, of course.
No.
Either way, you pick up that vest, it increases your armor level. So if you are armor 2, you become armor 3. If you armor 3, you become the almighty armor 4. But besides that, it also carries something else with it, and that is something that does quite often get overlooked. If it's not a headshot, it will always DBNO you, even if it's more damage than you should normally take. Even if it's a grenade that explodes on the top of your head, it is always a DBNO, and that gives opportunity to go for a revive, or for a second piece of utility to be used to confirm that kill. Think about how important that can be on the rafters.
Yeah, and I think that's it as well, and that was, I think, Pengu sort of came into the conversation as well about it and said, look, I think people, you know, you're never truly aware if you've got the kill, especially with all the sort of buzzing and whirring on that goes around. It becomes very difficult, it becomes very decisive to try and find those pulls and find that consistency in that intel, and, you know, it's always tough, it's always tricky, and here I guess we'll see if it's something where that ability to get yourself back to your feet or get yourself sort of back in the fight is something that becomes so potentially decisive.
Could indeed be. Secret just holding off for now. It is BDS opening up. A little bit of cover is there on the rappel. I'm saying I'm not being completely watched here. Seems like they're trying to go for just a complete cutout. Or are they, I'm not sure what they're trying to draw in
it's
here.
Art.
It's going to be a complete cutout. Oh no, he gets the shot! And that is the Maverick dead. And that's a 4-on-4, and suddenly that wall might stay closed. Of course, Brede still has an extra thermic left, but it's going to be very dangerous to put it down there now. Very good shot coming in there from Packbull with the TCSG. And now, yeah, that wall will stay open. There's no way that you're going to be able to close that one off. Or rather, open it up.
It was a dangerous game. They wanted an angle that wasn't as wide as a full sort of half soft. They instead sort of tried to carve a doorway in the wall, and you know, Packbull was there on the close corner, brave enough to swing round, almost lost his life for it, but in the exchange, took out... That Maverick took out 2 frag grenades. They still got the 4 in the pocket of Frenchiro and Shaiko. They still have a lot of that to be utilized, but still an early loss there. Hive, in the meantime, was also dropped around the same time. Packball's gone on a bit of an adventure here. He's just been spotted by a drone, and he's going into a fight on a little bit of the backside. The pings are consistent. He would have got a bit of a buzz there, and it's still present. He danced on the door of Billiards to just flirt with the idea of danger. Finally found the drone, but they're well aware where he is. Shaiko has that grenade, tries to push him out of position, and suffers a lot of damage in the meantime. The rotation round on the backside, the C4 is dropped and thrown early, and this firefight, I think it's gone a lot longer than they both expected it to.
24 seconds left on that clock. Shaiko now needs to start rotating back. At least wasted the nitro cell that was there. Good shot coming in from Ranchiro. The Rook will be coming up on the red stairs. They need to get this plant in. Bride will be trying to go for the commit. The jump in comes in from the actual side. 5 seconds on that clock, and Gomfi from below will be too late with the nitro. Will be able to pick up a kill, and now goes to the garage retake. Might be able to pick up yet another kill. Spots out the head. Needs to find it first.
Well, there's the pop-up and the take there, and Shira gets one. Packball finally finds another lockdown, but it's Shaiko round on the other side. Very good start in places for Secret there, but they couldn't quite get themselves around that final take there from BDS, the team that is eternally driving towards that objective. And even if there are these late fights happening on the other side of the map, if Bride is still alive, you know exactly where he's going.
Definitely do. He will be doing everything he can to get that plan down to make sure he takes the O on the cost list. So far, him does 100%. Even though he didn't get a kill.
Don't need to.
You don't need to.
That's it. Played the objective, got themselves...
Rival and trade.
Exactly. Driven your way there. And I think that's the thing about this team. I know that we sort of looked at map statistics at the beginning of the day, and you looked at Cafe, where it was a bit of a statistical anomaly in that 2 of the sites, the 50% of their plays, they'd been a diffuser plant. And it's that sort of situation where it's okay, but then you look, oh, it's BDS that's played this map.
Exactly.
You know, 66% of the time. That's why.
That's why they do often have higher plant percentages or higher attacking round wins, because 7-0 was in that that data set. 7-0 against Empire was from BDS. Empire, who have regained themselves, really. They set themselves up nicely, even overtook BDS at this moment in time, so BDS really want to strike back to at least secure themselves that top 4 position. Cannot afford to slack or slow down now. Started off strong with a first attacking win. Now, if they manage to get 1 or 2 more here, we'll be having a decent to good health, and everything from there on is going to be considered even better. Rafal again opening up. Now, we'll be cutting out the entire wall, so that is probably because they do not want to use soft breach for it. However, that does make it a little bit more dangerous, as you just saw when TCSG came around. It was hard for them to confirm the eventual breach, and as the push is coming in from the rafters, in the meantime, there's Rafal that still continues in opening up the wall.
Steadily trying to burn their way through. You can see the pings are consistently pushing that clash into more and more awkward situations. Alems, there's always a body of BDS as he points himself towards the underside of Lounge. Hive wants to swing on this firefight, but Alems is well aware of it. They're isolating the top of red here. The grenades are sort of swinging and swanning their way towards that clash, who's holding on to the best of their ability. Alems is now concerned with the rotation as Hive does make it, but a little bit later than they probably expected. Look at this, though. They're starting their drive across the top. They have an idea on where that clash is. They pop the shield. Very good use, and that forces Secret entirely out of that side. Very well played there by BDS to take that control. They're still droning, still steadily getting the impression that they've been able to force the team entirely out of it. And with 1:20 left, they've really done well here.
Incredibly well. Continue to push forward. 1:15 on that clock. There's still a roamer. A flank drone will be set up here by Alems, and thus will be watched. Shaiko gets the entry in the meantime as the flank that we saw from Hive is about to come up. Surely will be spotted. Alems still below. Has an impact available to make use somewhere. But first needs to get this roamer. Knows exactly he's on that stairs. Doesn't, however, know for sure if they moved up already. We'll be able to find the angle, though. Actually not. Onto the mirror window. Hive gets that kill. And the mirror window will stay closed. That's a big issue now for BDS. Really needed that window to be opened up.
Well, Packbull is sort of putting the pressure out onto the side of Jacuzzi as Shaiko tries to drive on the opposite side. They have an idea of where the diffuser's coming through from, but it's down to Shaiko to see if he can break that mental and metal from the opposite side, as he's sort of been able to take control here, smash that window and go for the swing towards the corner of the shower. Sleben has dug in as close as he can get. There's more sort of reins around the pressure here. Packbull's going for a bit on the backside of his own to see if they can force that backline into a more uncomfortable situation, but Shaiko is able to take care of Sleben. Rafal is going to stick the diffuser inside Jim. More flashes, more of a delay, and Secret still finds himself pushed to the back as they find themselves yet again facing a post plant. Shaiko, he's still doing his thing, but so is the rest of BDS yet again. They're able to hit that objective as well as apply the pressure to the backside of Secret.
Definitely so, and any time that BDS is playing Clubhouse, and any time Shaiko moves in from construction, right behind that bomb chassis, he kills whoever is coming in his way. And it is something that goes back all the way to stage 1 last year when they faced G2. It was a very close game. They managed to, of course, win that one out on the back of a triple kill. Shaiko moving through that exact same door, picking everybody up he found. And here again, he manages to just run in that door and pick up these kills. He's such a powerful player that he's often creating a lot of openings for BDS, who is a very powerful team. Many good and experienced players on that roster. And you don't even have to wonder about why they are considered to be the benchmark of Europe, even though that they might be, well, slipping and sliding a little bit at this very moment. Of course, they are no longer on that top spot. They lost it last stage as well to Na'Vi, who then took that top spot. So BDS, you know, still in that top 4, but no longer as well powerful as they once were, you can almost say.
It puts them in a bit of a situation right now as well, obviously. As you can see, if they take this map, they'll push themselves up to sort of second there. Don't have the advantage against G2, who obviously won their showdown in the previous play day, and also you've still got Na'Vi yet to play as well that might sort of fight their way up, but it shows that they still sort of need these points, these wins, not desperately, but as much as they can. It's the same story, I guess, or a similar story for Secret here. We've obviously just seen a bit of a resurgence of Empire, who are steadily fighting their way towards the top after having a pretty abysmal sort of opening. Unknights are the team that they're struggling, sure, but they just took G2 to the brink. They have the potential to keep fighting their way forward, and Rogue, they're put in their best performance in a while in the previous playday. It's tough for Secret at this moment in time to try and carve their sort of location, where they're out on the board and where they can pull points, and it's not made any easier by having to go up against BDS.
Definitely not. Shaiko still on a bit of a flank here. There's the opportunity of jumping in the gym bedroom or the master bedroom window. Hopefully for him to go for yet another flank. Something is done so effectively as well. And the rest of BDS seems to be going for a bit of a construction take as well. Of course, we saw before earlier by Unknights, you do not necessarily need to go for that default take, for that default push. You can easily outrun them in cash, especially if there's a very heavy setup towards the actual garage side. Shaiko will be taking care of the first Valkyrie camera without exposing himself too much. That is going to be releasing and making sure that there's not that much information coming in that can be used by Secret.
It's just, again, this sort of well put together take here by BDS. They're getting all of the control of the utility that they need. They've been able to take the space that they want as well. I think it's pretty rare that we've seen what BDS want to achieve over these first 2 rounds be slowed in any way or be scarpered. Yeah. They have been late on their pushes, sure, but they've generally been able to put the pressure where they need it to when it comes through, and there's the start. Yet again, Shaiko is able to get one of these entry engagements. It's Sleben that's off the board yet again, and well, that just means things are getting dicier and dicier with both major walls open and 50 seconds left.
2 players in the garage. They need to try and cut back at some point. Alems has the opportunity to cut off the rotate, and as Jess put it once before, cut through your birthday pie in the middle of it. Either way, push is about to come happen. I don't know what she said.
A birthday pie?
cake, that was it, sorry.
I would love a birthday pie, and I think what Secret would love is a way to try and stop this approach. The C4 is the attempt, hopped over the canister on the door as well, but it's Renshiro with a grenade that's able to make more of an impact. They still have some C4s underneath. Hyph is waiting for the info, and there it is, and there they go, and suddenly they've been able to get a couple of bodies, but Shaiko grabs the diffuser and tries to bury himself deep inside the site itself. They're looking for where this body is. The pre-fire around the corner does not win out, and Shaiko...
Oh, that grenade.
I
Perfect.
know. Perfectly played there. Rafal buys themselves some time, just misses the slip, but so does Hyph. Didn't expect them in that situation. Gets the lock off on the confirm. 30 seconds. 2 more bodies to try and get through. One's Renshiro on the backside in a window, and one's Shaiko, who, as of this moment, has not died.
Yeah, that's a statement. You know, he's definitely showing up big here, and we're going to go for a bit of a timeout of Team Secret, which is logical. After losing 3 defensive rounds in a row, every single site you've brought has not worked so far. And you're going to need rounds, because you're up against BDS. If you think you're going to be able to get away with 5, 6 attacking rounds in a row, then, well, commends to you if you manage to pull it off. Let's just say
it would be amazing.
It would be amazing. But it's very unlikely that it will happen. So they need to pull up some rounds now. 1, 2, and, well, preferably even 3, because BDS already did what they need, and even more than that. Normally it's 2 to 3 rounds. They got 3, and there's still 3 to go.
3 plants in a row as well.
Yeah.
It's not that BDS have sort of driven their way through with violence, which they can do. It's that they're still playing their tactics. And that's the thing I was sort of saying just before in that round is what BDS want to take, they've been able to take. They haven't really sort of slowed. They haven't been scarpered too much in terms of the ground that they want. It's been very good. And that's always the worry. You look at the top. Okay, Shaiko's gone 7-0. Renshiro's gone 6-0.
And he doesn't even like stand out that much right now. That's the difficult part, right? It's like Shaiko's pulling up these many kills, and you're like, oh, Shaiko this, Shaiko that. And then you say, in the meantime, Renshiro also 6 kills, 0 deaths. Pulls his weight, so ever so steadily, 2 average kills per round. BDS just a very well-rounded team. Up against Secret now, who started off great this stage. 7-3 victory against Na'Vi. 7-5 against Rogue. Then lost 3 games in a row to VP, who did 3-7. 3-7 against G2, and a 7-5 lost against Team Empire. They're definitely in need of points right now, because they find themselves at that bottom part of that table. Of course, not directly in relegation threat, but if you saw how their stage 1 went, they're definitely not outside of range of not relegating out, because currently they are located in the absolute dead last place in the overall standings, 1 point behind Unknights. So a single point would already be helpful, because that puts them back on equal grounds, whereas 2, of course, keeping the overall standings in mind would be even more helpful.
All right, BDS, you've sort of driven yourself into a very solid position here. In Secret, you've taken a timeout. You've gone with the site you haven't otherwise played as of yet. You have a pretty big extension, but you've also sort of locked the door here. That mirror window towards blue, the other one that you've got over pipe side across the main door. It's pretty familiar, and it's the idea of let's try and hold on whilst the rest of these top bodies and these top roamers are looking for the fight. Oh. Gomfi takes care of a Lems, a big player who hasn't quite been able to have the impact in this game as of yet, but to be fair, when 2 of your players are on the 4th round and have not died and have over 5-6 kills apiece, well, okay, we can forgive a little bit of the pressure there. Here it comes, though. Shaiko steps in, 1 more for his scoreboard. Rafal is on the top. Gomfi is locked in, holding on to the best of his ability as more range is opened by BDS on the top floor.
Definitely so, opening up potentials to hold down these rotates, and BDS now find themselves back in a 4-on-4 situation. Lem's taken care of. That is 2 of the Zofia lifelines and impacts that you can no longer use. Will mean that you have to do without. Black Eyes are quickly being taken care of here by BDS, so not really anything to worry about. Good droning really going on here, of course, mainly by Brede. His Hyph is just waiting with a Nitro, hoping to be able to use it. The first one will pop and not deal a single point of damage, but there's still 2 left. of Comfy and Hive. They're playing in different areas. Hive, of course, near the kitchen, has the opportunity to extend towards the main stairs. Whereas Comfy is playing around blue, and BDS is definitely setting themselves up for a motorcycle drop.
Shaiko drops the Gemini down with the impression of where it is. It's sprayed from behind the mirror window. They know that's always going to be tough, but
might not have been quite aware there that it was actually a Gemini. So I'm wondering for a little while, but of course should be well aware now. Grenade's about to be tossed in, but doesn't get further than the door frame. And 25 seconds on the clock. A next grenade will be tossed out. A nitro cell will be tossed in as well. The drop comes here, and that should be the nitro to pop, but not the kill. And 15 seconds are left on the clock.
Sprays through, finds the fight with the sledge, but it's Renshiro who smashes the window instantly. They drive themselves. Packbull gets one on the door, but it's Renshiro to instantly battle back and keep driving. Shaiko with another one. Hive finally proves that Renshiro is mortal, but in this 2 versus 1 situation and a slow creep around the backside, they cannot quite see if anybody is inside blue itself. You still have one immortal left, and he is still on that status. 4 in a row, 4 plants. I believe that pushes him to 10 kills.
10-0 on Shaiko, indeed.
No deaths.
Not a single death, indeed. Renshiro has dropped that perfect scoreline. However, don't think he'll care too much about it.
I mean,
maybe
like,
if they go for a 7-0 and it's his only death, he'll be like,
yeah,
you know, I really wanted that perfect scoreline as well.
He's only on an 8-1.
But just look at that, 18 kills over the 2 of them. Bride and Lems both picking at 1. They don't really have to do much more than that.
18 kills over the 2 of them, and we're 4 rounds in.
Yeah, that's you know, that's kind of what I was hinting at as well. It's absolutely insane how good these 2 are. And you can see it as well, all 4 times it was a planned position. So it was the defenders that suddenly had to strike back, of which I believe it's 2 on Bride, all right, 1 on Rafal and 1 on Shaiko. So he even planted.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's incredible. It's absolutely insane what the man is putting up right now in terms of...
If there was some way to have, like, you know how you can have 100% rounds that you've sort of contributed to, at this rate, I think that those 2 deserve more than 100%.
Yeah, definitely so. Like, if you could tick off multiple objectives on the cost, then it would work that way.
That's a bingo.
The only thing you couldn't be getting is getting traded, because it just doesn't die.
He does not die.
That's the only way.
That's why Renshiro did die, was so he could have a traded.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
But then you lose the survival of the cost.
He's got 3 rounds at that already. I think he's doing well, and unfortunately, Secret, you're the ones that have to now try to step back into the plate, step up to the metal, and see if you can try and pull a round here on your defense. Otherwise, this could be an unfortunately quick day at the clubhouse. BDS make another approach, another sorted push here across the top. They're looking towards direct entry here, but at the same time, this is how they've played it before. Rafal has been punished in this situation, and I'm curious to see what he goes with. The same ploy, the same...
I wonder why they changed it. Why did they go from opening it up and using a bit of soft... Oh, unfortunate Hive. And it gets shot out. So he's not going to be able to recover it. Shaiko will be getting his 11th kill, is being pushed as well, challenged. Wanted to go for a potential 12 there, but wasn't able to quite hit the shots. And Hive, in the meantime, after a failed black eye, will be rotating down to the bottom, hoping to potentially set himself up for a flank up the main stairs main bedroom stairs, to maybe go for that late rotate, for that late flank to come in.
Shaiko has already found himself inside construction. He wants to swing around the side of the door. He's been able to drive himself with grenades on this push and this fight before. They're looking for the pressure that they might be able to apply. Hive hits that, and the Lems, how aware is he of that? The burn comes through. Rafal's making some art to the best of his ability, but it's the artwork of frags that's come through on the opposite side.
Oh, no
Downed on the back line there. Gomfy is knocked for 6. Tried to shoot out the canister in time, but they're able to get it up. Has another grenade in pocket if he wants to try and double down, but as does Renshiro. There's a second pop of the canister. There's another grenade! And Shaiko is now 12-0.
using that utility perfectly there. Gets the next one as well. He's on 13. How much can he go without dying? That is the true question. Keenan has the opportunity to set up a cross angle, but I believe he's already inside. The man is an absolute mad lad, you can say. It is Lambs that picks up another kill as well. Hive, the last one standing. The Nitro comes in with a double kill. Shaiko will die. It's not the perfect scoreline, and just too late, because there comes the kill. The Nitro just went off before. But that's the perfect scoreline gone. It took him 14 kills before he finally died. By a Nitro as well. Not even a gunfight, just the Nitro.
I mean, I don't have the encyclopedic knowledge of how far a player's got into a game in terms of kills before they're finally killed.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. Maybe CGG can look back on that.
CGG, if anybody who is a famed historian or statistician of this game, what's the highest amount of kills somebody's got in a game before they've been killed themselves? In a sort of, you know, pro setting.
In any...
Because if he's not the top, he's definitely near there.
You should definitely be top 3 in this case. It's absolutely insane.
He almost survived it as well. The trade came out just...
That's it. Like, the Valkyrie blew it up as she moved up the stairs. Of course, because of the fact that she would be visible from the position where Shaiko was in that case. So had to blow it up first before moving up. And as a result, managed to get that kill. Just look at this one as well. Just that kill coming in. Shot out a few of the X-Scars, but that's not a big of a deal.
I mean...
It ruined the breach, but you got the kill. Is that profit? I think it's profit. They won the round, so...
If Shaiko was on my team, playing... in general...
I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah. If Shaiko was in my team and he made a decision like that, I'd be like, it's the right decision.
Yeah.
if he's on a 13-0 or a 12-0 at that point and he makes that decision.
Perfectly cooked.
All right.
Grenade.
5-0, Secret. Can you pull something before the turn of the half, before you find yourself on your own attacks here? You're flirting with danger. You have had an ability to try and pull these bodies apart, but unfortunately just haven't been able to connect all the pieces together at once. Hive, Packbull, and Gomfi obviously have all been able to find bodies in the meantime. Sleben, unfortunately, he's suffered the entry pretty consistently. He hasn't quite been able to dig his way into any of these sort of fights. Keenan hasn't been the earliest body off, but has as well, unfortunately, been a consistent body removed from the board. And I guess the Secret just sort of trying to find out how they can have a handle, how they can batter the approach, because it seems like they have an idea of how BDS is going to push forward, but they just don't have the solidity to stop it.
And the fact that Gomfi was sitting in the 90 corner is the reason why that Nitro Cell was not able to find Renshiro. If they wouldn't have... Oh, there we go. Still the kills comes in, though. That's great. Gomfi will be able to pick up that kill. That at least puts him at a man advantage here. Potentially allows him to pick up a single round. Side picks up a Lems now as well. That is the garage still under heavy control. Bride will drop. It's only up to Rafale and Shaiko now. I'll make that only Shaiko. 1v5 clutch. I mean, the amount of kills he has, I wouldn't be surprised if he at least gets very far.
Well, he's got a lot of time, and he's going to try and...
Oh, no way, Shaiko.
He finds it first pretty cleanly. He's looking to cook the grenade to see if he can dig out the second, but they've instantly rotated. Keenan very cleverly went, well, it's Shaiko underneath there on the Iana. I'm not going to sit around in this dangerous situation. Pull to red, where it is safe, it is solid. We have 4 bodies. One of them is Clash in the hands of Packbull. That is going to offer them and add a lot, and you can see that they're sort of using that as their taster of just where have they gone. Well, on a bit of a big run around here. They found their way across the top. They're going to swing around, and there's the audio of the hop in. Keenan is able to find his first. I think, actually, did he get one early this round? Might be his first.
Might have another, might be his first. We don't know yet, but one thing is for sure is the first round Secret managed to put on the board. 5-1. BDS now over to the defensive side. You're looking out at Secret and you're like, this doesn't look too bright for them, this game. This could be an ending very quickly. Maestro being picked in last second. Could be 6 space down to an Echo. 14-2. Now the KD drops very quickly. Yeah, Infinite to
that's only a
13
7.
to 7. You
only
know,
a 7. Okay.
It's not as impressive anymore as the first 4 rounds. Majority of the 5th. I could do no, I couldn't.
Okay, Church and Arsenal. We're seeing a hold down here. Obviously, the smoke is sort of doubled up by Rafale on
Yep.
the Chanka. You can get yourself some good bounce towards the default plant spots. You can keep yourself a little bit at arm's reach of some of those plant spots that are otherwise dug in behind the pillar. You can also buy some time around dirt, which used to be a bit of a singular smokes job. Now you have some option. You have some room for exchange. And obviously it comes at some of the cost because, you know, Kaid's on the board, but they're not bringing him. They're not going to sort of try and lock off those hatches in that way. They expect them, I guess, to fall under the pressure of the Maverick, who is on the board. So why not play yourself into a slightly more, let's let them take it, but try and take the site itself play?
Definitely so. Let's see how this defense will be. It looks like a lot of people will be playing on site. Renshiro is just now making his way back after reinforcing the hatch and potentially putting up some goo mines. And you might be asking, why goo mines? Well, you might be able to use a pre-placed C4 as Packball also going for the complete cutout. I get it for this wall. I don't get it for the CCTV wall because so often people just get a quick piece of soft breach in, either with the sledge or with the Zofia. For construction, of course, you only need to create a very small opening to go through. Did he just mess at one of the pellets?
Guess we'll find out.
Let's see. No, okay, it went right through. I thought it maybe hit one on the leg of the desk.
There's Rafale making sure that he has that bit of an angle, that bounce line, so he can try and drop them in. He also has the ping over the top as well, which he can bounce those grenades into the bottom of main stairs. He can cause some problems. You'll often see it as a bit of a C4 loop, but in the case of Chanka, he can do a little bit more than that. 2 minutes on the clock. They're still sort of piecing together the rest of their hold, getting open the hatches that they need to. The cams are still generally all in place as well, as they're free to drone a little bit down the depths of the site itself, getting themselves a little bit more of an angle and an opening here as they're concerned for the rotation, but BDS don't feel like they have to play that right now.
Seems like a lot of the utility that we see on Secret is being set up for a push from the actual window, or hatch, I have to say. Keenan is the first kill. That's Bride to drop that. Opens up a lot of possibilities. Comfy, however, will go down right after. It is going to be Shaiko that dies by the RC. Retiro, LMs, and a lot of trades coming in everywhere as it's a 1-on-3 situation now. It's only up to Renshiro to try and clutch this out.
Well, Keenan said he wasn't quite able to make the connections on the defense, but on the attack, he's able to drive himself straight in. The Retaro drone being the death
Shaiko?
of Shaiko.
It confused me.
I mean, had just dropped the... I think they took a gamble. They saw the drone came down, because we saw the drone heading its way towards Barb's and that sort of route. And I think Shaiko went, well, I can take this fight whilst they're still on the drone, but timed it just a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
So that they were, you know, traveling over the sort of blast radius at the same time. I mean...
It happens.
Is that the first...
I think that might be the first RCE kill that we've seen in EUL.
Hey,
it's definitely in EUL. It might be in the entire pro circuit.
Siege tacticians? Siege statistics people?
Know.
CGG?
Second request.
Second request of this game. Because we know that obviously there was a team kill from BDS.
Yes, true.
Which was technically the first
definitely
official.
top fragging with it.
It was definitely, yeah, they've been able to, unless you count it as 1 or you count it as like -1 and then we're back to 0 now. Oh no, we're even further down. But let us know if that was the first kill with the drone.
All right. That guy's being put up, of course, to gain some information. Didn't help them that much in the previous round. Got outrun, overrun. Strategy we saw in Night's Pool earlier today, very effective. The electric law is being hidden. Quite surprised as of why. Probably behind the indestructible desk, of course, which makes it a bit harder to clear. And it makes it so Hive is not really going to be able to use any of the Excaras to open up that hatch. They're going to try and need to find and drone it out, try and figure out where that spot, where the electric light exactly is, or they need to use the MAV on it. But a lot of the fuel already used from Packball. Not really many, well, advantageous angles you can use to try and work with. Grenades being tossed in. That might not get it. The second one being tossed in as well will maybe get it. Yes, that got it. Only 2 on for now, though. Impacts are a possibility, or a Nitro even to be tossed up, but will not happen now. And that means that the Hibana is allowed to open up the hatch, and will do so as well. Is that again? Is that one? How do we can see? It's like, was it messed up? Or
It
was
connected.
It, no? Okay, it opened
It connected.
Okay.
And now you can sort of see yet again, Secret, they're very good at taking this pocket of space that they want. Gomfi's going to drive the drones down the same route that they went before, and Shiro's looking to be a little bit more dangerous around the bottom of main. They were a little bit placid here before and then found themselves suddenly pressured from the opposite side. Here, Secret, well, they started their approach elsewhere, but now they're doubling down inside dirt again. Packball with Keenan on the cover. Bride is the man that's instead taken up this mantle. Close with that shotgun, sees the ADS get burnt, is ready now actually with the SMG. He wants to try and swing in on the quick pop there. The canister gets dropped. They're going for the second one, and that's going to buy them a little bit more time, forces them back, but with only one more in pocket, there's only another 15 seconds that they're able to do that for.
Bit of droning coming out. Hive is still ready to hopefully find a head in one of these boxes as Gomfi's guy, trying to get as much information as he possibly can with these drones. Over Bride in such a critical spot in dirt with that shotgun. Know how important it can be for him to hit these shots, and as he uses that last smoke canister, the pressure will be coming down any time now. It's Gomfi as well in the meantime, trying to take blue, and the rest of Secret just searching for an opening somewhere.
That's it, they're prodding and just trying to get a little bit vicious, but talking of, it's Bride for one, cannot find the second. Keenan keeps his momentum here over and instantly starts to shift some of this pressure. Alems is the watch and the wait on the other side as Shaiko gets Gomfi on the back of blue. Sleben is trying to dive in and get a little bit of a revenge, but the swing from Alems on the door draws all their focus. It's Rafal from inside the church that gets the take. Alems finds one of his own, and there's Shaiko versus Hive, and there's BDS on map point.
Map and match point, and 4 in total for them to try and clean out this game, to try and close out the game to get 3 points. With that, they move one closer to G2 compared to where they were at the start of the day. Allows them to potentially work back towards that first place spot. And of course, really put on the pressure onto Na'Vi as well. Still have to play today. And we'll need to pick up, well, at least a point. And of course, preferably more if they want to stay on top of Team BDS. Or BDS Esport. Either way, full match points, and the first one will be brought up to CCTV Cash. It's going to be a heavy hold, potentially, towards the side of the rafters of the garage, because you already see the Cade moving that direction. Now, it could be that they are completely ignoring the CCTV wall. They'll allow them to breach it without, you know, any further util waste, and make sure that they focus on keeping the garage closed, which allows you to stay in control of the rafters. Or what he does right now is just to make sure that the construction wall will stay closed. That is 2 electroclaws placed in, well, ways where they are very hard to clear by any of these grenades.
Shaiko, at this moment in time, not only does he have the least amount of deaths out of anybody in the game, he has more kills than the rest of his team put together.
Well, that is a stat.
Yeah, that's another
statistic. He's definitely doing so much great work now for BDS. And if you start a shot he was hitting with the ARX, you can only imagine what he would have done if Yana wasn't banned against him last week. Either way, Packball will be starting to open up. Got a little bit of information out as Keenan now will be opening up that hatch, of course, to put up some extra pressure into the logistics side. But the majority point of contest will be around here. And Shaiko is prone. Shaiko trying to get the food out off Packball. Grenade will quickly be pulled out and hoping to pick up the kill. Unfortunately, will fail to do so. And the wall will be opened up. An impact to Sleben will be used as well, and he will be on that repel. But just look at Shaiko. He's thinking about challenging it. He's feeling so confident right now.
He's looking for the fight. He's looking for the engagement. He wants to take that body that's swinging. He wants to keep saying, well, no. Sure, you've taken the wall, but I've taken your life. You're not allowed to be comfortable anywhere else. And, you know, I think he's sort of being not reined in a little bit, but pulled back as the pop doesn't quite get the drop on the hard destruction. Hive's able to open up their angle there across. They see that their drone inside construction has since been removed, and Shaiko is sort of bouncing around inside the site itself, looking for a fight from any which way and angle. But as long as the rest of the bodies of BDS are standing, well, there's no room for him to move into. There, though, Alems is unfortunately removed on that flank, that rotation. Again, he hasn't quite been able to have that impact, but at the same time, when BDS and you know, that sort of combination of the other players is playing as it is, do they massively need to?
Oh, here he comes. He just swings in, and Shaiko loses his life. Might be able to find himself all the way back into the site. The Yokai drone will be trying to stop it from happening as well. We see another grenade to be tossed in. Shaiko will be trying to crawl all the way over to CCTV. The ADSs are saving his life, and he might live here. Richiro runs over to pick him up as well. Oh, and he gets taken out as a result. Slabbit is out there. They have the cover onto the breach, and Abride, the man who've hit many of these shots, is going to die as well. Everything is being put and trying to rescue Shaiko, and they've lost everything in a result. Rafal, however, will be able to pick up a kill. Shaiko will finally be confirmed. The jumping comes in, the Nitro gets tossed out. Will not be able to find anything, but there comes the kill. Hive picks him up. And as Shaiko goes for an unnecessary peek, he might be able to go all the way back, but they managed to pick up so many kills as a result on the side of Secret, as everybody tried to save him, the man who's currently on 17 frags.
Saving Private Shaiko.
Well, not even private at this point. I think he gets a promotion after 17 kills.
I don't know. You might want to you might want to try and reel him back in after a bit of a swing like that. Sure, he had all the confidence of a man to try and take that engagement, but at the same time, Secret, you know, it's something where you've always got to keep yourself still a bit tuned in, still a bit ready for what can be applied back against you. CCTV, they're going to double down. They're going to see if they can take it again instead of opting for the chance on Jim instead. Same lineup, pretty much. Same setup, same hold, and you assume Secret are going to hope for the same results here. I'm curious if Alems isn't going to be so sort of cavalier on his big roam game, those flanks that haven't quite connected, because, to be fair, Secret has kept a good watch on that play so far.
Alems and Shaiko need to tone down the aggression a little bit with the peaks. Alems, of course, losing the gunfight to Diana, to Comfy. On the bottom of the main stair, Shaiko trying to go aggressive into construction. Potentially wanted to impact the X-Scarers that were tossed in. Might have lost him his life as a result, either way. It is still 3 match points available for BDS, and should have a good opportunity of closing these out. If they do not keep peeking this unnecessarily every now and then. Of course you will at some point. Very, very confident right now, especially Shaiko. And he wins many of these gunfights as well. It's more of a rarity that he wasn't going to be able to pick up the kill onto Gonfi at this point. And now, the same ritual will start. The wall will be opened up. Keenan will go up to the roof to open up the hatch and put some pressure into Logi. Whereas the rest of BDS will just be running around trying to get into their spots. And as the new opening will be made, there's no one, I believe, in a close angle to try and cover it. They open it up, however, and Shaiko's just trying to shoot out the feet. And that will force Backbill to drop down. He's not feeling safe. Might have to go for an upside-down rappel to do the rest of it. But that's also not quite safe because there is an opening. Has it been soft already? I'm not quite sure if it probably will be soft. Otherwise, there's no way he'd drop down, right?
I didn't hear it drop, but yeah, it is soft. No, I didn't hear the audio cue either. It just pulled off the work. There it is. Put through, burnt out. Yep, use the drone to sort of get the pop to see if they can get the stun on Shaiko, who's on the corner, and make sure he can't just swing casually. There is still a body that's on the roam. Not anymore. Yet again, I've said this game from Alems hasn't quite worked, and yet again, Secret have been able to take control of it. This is definitely the highlight of their takes and their play so far. Even on their sort of defenses was just getting a hold of that loose player, but it's the site itself where the problems started to arise on their defenses. Can they make more of a mantle of success here on their attacks? Steadily cracking the same way through, sprayed back against them. There's Shaiko just going for a bit of a peek, suffers a scrape on the way out the door, but he's still looking for a little bit more. Packbull has burnt his way through on the close connector here as the drones start to whir and buzz their way around. Bride is on the shoulder of the cover of red, can get the long arm, but doesn't want to burn through the gate. So he's going to wait for a little bit more of that approach to otherwise come through from Secret. The Gemini burns on the door, and Keenan comes to step in, knock through that wall, almost suffers. Shaiko again taking an aggressive engagement here, but he cannot quite find the same marks.
Grenade will be tossed in, but Shaiko will be dropping him, and that means that that grenade will not be able to hit him. It's going to be the next skill to come in. Gonfi hoping to close out this round at least by picking up an important kill. Drone tossed in, the B side is completely clear. They will be aware of that. However, Rafal, of course, very close. In a position where he can hold this run in. He can hold the cross. Shaiko will go down. That's a grenade to come in. Flashbangs will be tossed in to probably hope that they can contest the player that is inside the rafters, but he will be able to pick up the kill. Brede and Rafal will follow up as well, and it's only up to Slevin now. It's up to no one. It's BDS to clean out the round. It's BDS to clean up the game. And after an impressive 13-0 from Shaiko, he only ends up in 18-5, I believe it is. 18-6.
No, he didn't die at the end there. It was 18-4.
Oh, he was just injured. All right. Just injured.
He just got a casual
Just 18 kills. I don't know what to say.
It's one of those games, isn't it? It's so tough because, as I said, Secret were doing a couple of things right. They were able